orientation?
Yeah, it's orientation.
So you signed up?
Yeah.
Great job. Where are you at now?
Right now it's
Orientation?
yeah, it's orientation. Well, I've been doing like 4 hours every day since.
I'm so proud of you. That's great. Great job. Fantastic. Okay, so look, we'll give you a couple more weeks. I'm proud of you. That's great. Just keep up the good work. You know, once you do that, that makes everything so much better, really. All right, so we'll give you a couple more weeks. Just get it done, and that way you can roll out of here with it. Okay? All right, man. Great job.
Yeah, I mean.
No, it's just orientation, because then you still got to go through the whole. Yeah. Okay.
It was a brand new case recently. Do you want us to do a normal reset or do you?
No, I want to make sure that we stay on top of it. So 2 weeks. Let's see what you've done. Okay. Just keep it up. You're doing great. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys.
This is the other short.
Good morning, Mr. Short.
This is the other short.
Good morning, Mr. Shorts. How's jail?
How you doing?
How's jail? Are you having fun? Why don't you come back?
I forgot the court date. I forgot.
Say it again.
He forgot the court date.
I forgot the court date.
So if we let you out now, how do we know you're not going to forget again?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Where are you living?
So about Burger King, then jail department.
In
Order in the court,
Sunnyside, he lives at
Yes,
Sunflower
Sunflower.
Apartments with his brother.
Who do you live with?
I'm
Mr. Shorts. Your lawyer is asking for me to let you out, but I have to know that if I let you out, you're going to come back.
Yes, I'll come back.
I'm not going to play this game again.
Yes, sir.
If you take off on me again,
I'll come back again.
you will go back to jail. You now know no one is going to bond you out. So if you don't come back, you will be stuck like Chuck in there until we're done.
Sir.
Do you understand?
Sir.
If I let you out, you're going to come back.
Sir.
Okay, I won't do this again. You understand?
Sir.
I've given you a lawyer. All you have to do is stay in contact with Shreya, and she'll tell you when you got to come back and what you got to do.
Sir.
No more. Okay, all right, Shreya. So,
On condition.
yeah, who's the complainant? Tell me about the case, will you, Alex, please?
The complainant is the brother and their.
Wonderful.
No.
Your Honor, it's the brother's girlfriend.
Let me clarify. I think what he meant to say was that it was the brother's girlfriend from 2021 who no longer lives there.
Okay, wonderful.
And
Have you been able,
I was about to tell you, we're still attempting to get in contact with the complainant. We haven't been able to, and the investigator was in task on it.
all right, so, Mr. Shorts, don't have any contact with this person and don't have any weapons.
Yes, sir.
Come back. Good things happen if you come back. You understand? Okay, all right, Shreya, so
Thank you, Judge.
there's a condition, he can't leave until he signs it anymore.
Yes, Judge, he's
right.
back there.
Was it a PR?
I'm gonna reinstate.
So whenever I'll sign, take what I.
Mr. Shorts, good luck. Do you understand? Okay, I'm now going to drug test you like crazy, and the next time you test positive, I will keep you. And if you continue, I can have a contempt hearing, hold you contempt, slap you with 180 days, probate it for 2 years, and put you in a rehab facility. And I will do it in a heartbeat to get you clean. Do you understand? No more using. What are you doing with yourself these days? Where are you working? You working full-time? Okay, stay on it. No more using. Do you understand? I'm going to test you on Thursday. I'm going to bring you back on Thursday. I'm going to test you. If I find that you continue to use, you test positive again, it's not going to go well. I will give you a pass on the marijuana for 45 days. If you test positive after 45 days, it tells me that you continue to use. Likewise, it will not go well. Do you understand? Okay. All right, Anna.
See you Thursday, Judge. Thank you.
Locked in bedroom, while conducting welfare check. The officer observed the defendant to be the sole person in the apartment, not locked in the bedroom. The officer determined the apartment to be under the control of the defendant, and all complainants gave similar statements and stated they were held in the locked bedroom without the ability to come and go freely. The complainants were all found to be in possession of identifying documents, but cell phones had been taken away. The complainants stated if they needed to leave the bedroom, they had to knock on the door and be led through the apartment, sometimes with a bag over their head, by one of two males in charge. The defendant stated he lives at a location with another male, but does not know the other male very well.
Okay, whoa. So the defendant says that he lives
At that location,
at the location.
but he does not know the second male. Yeah, also was a location.
Does it know well or does
Doesn't
it?
know.
Okay,
Yes.
all right.
Yes. And the defendant denied knowing the 5 people in the apartment. Instead, they were dropped off in the morning, and that he did not know who dropped them off. The defendant was found with approximately $6,000 on his person, and the officer observed the door where the complainants were to be unable to be locked or unlocked from the inside, only able to be locked from the outside. The room where the complainants were found was free of any furniture, with no mattresses on the floor, and only 3 pillows and multiple blankets. Officers also found a large sheet of plywood covering the window and no working light bulbs. The officer observed a desk in the dining area with 4 envelopes with names in 3,600 written on them containing cash, a total of 11,200. Officers also found a brown wooden baseball bat on the desk with the envelopes.
If I may, Your Honor. So my understanding is that I guess the code says that he has to own the property or rent it, but he was actually renting a room from the guy that lived at that apartment. So he had only paid 1 month of rent to the guy and was going on his 2nd month. He, from my understanding, didn't know who those people were. They had gotten dropped off that morning and he hadn't left for work yet, was my understanding, that day when the officers showed up. And that's all I know from what I gathered. But he had been living there and there hadn't been people there until that morning when they arrived, that the officers then arrived at the home.
Did the officers interview him at all?
Interview the defendant?
Uh-huh.
Yes, Your Honor, and that's whenever he told them that he lived at the location, but did not know the person very well, and that he did not know the 5 people inside. And the officer found them locked in the bedroom, but he denied knowing who they were.
So it says here, a person commits an offense if the person knowingly, 1, uses or permits another to use any real estate, building, room, tent, vehicle, boat, or other property owned by the person or under the person's control to commit an offense or to facilitate the commission of an offense under.
Which is just, those other sections are smuggling or trafficking.
Right. Or rents or leases any property to another intending that the property be used as subdivision 1.
Which would be him allowing them to use the property for such commission of alleged offense, but it wasn't his, I guess my issue is that it wasn't his property, he was not on the.
And Your Honor, the officers found him to be under the property under his control, as they found him to be the only person on the premises at that time, not locked in the bedroom. So yeah, that's why it was the officer's conclusion that he was in control of the property at the time.
What evidence do we, Nathan, what evidence do we have that he knows the persons are being trafficked or being held?
Well, in these cases, typically, Judge, somebody's not going to come out and say, I know everybody being trafficked in this room. It's going to be a matter of circumstances, the totality of the circumstances, I would say, to make that out. And I believe, Judge, based upon the information that we have, that we're at least there for false cause standards.
And if I may, I did go ahead and read the entire DIM summary, and the complaining witnesses that were found in a home did describe 2 individuals, none of which meet the description of my client. They said one of them was a young male with glasses and an older man with a white beard, is what the 2 individuals told the officers.
And Your Honor, in the full DIMS, the complainant one described the.
So hold on a second, because are you telling me that the people who are held captive are saying that it's another 2 people who are acting?
Your Honor, there was a description given, older with gray hair, a round face, and a beard, and the officer observed the description given to fit the physical description of the defendant. So there was a description given by the complainant, and the officer observed it to match the defendant.
Well, the time he got arrested, he didn't have a beard, so because the mugshot doesn't show a beard, so I would assume. I mean, I would have to see what they said. I just don't think it's.
I think he's there, he's alone, there's $11,000. I mean.
The other thing too is, Judge, it's my understanding based upon the harmers recent, I guess, knowledge of the statute that felonies in some cases, which we may be in these cases of felony. I always try to warn, I'll just say less experienced defense attorneys when you do it, and ultimately follows costs argument. Sometimes it comes back.
Are you telling me that it changes? Does it change January 1st?
It's still looking like a class A misdemeanor, but when we read the Texas Penal Code under section 20.07, it is a third-degree felony, and that was amended in February.
2026. All right, so, Mr. Martinez, I am going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm ordering you now as a condition of your bond not to engage in this behavior, not to be in possession of any weapons. If you pick up a new case, if I find you with a weapon, if you engage in this type of behavior, I will put you in jail. I will not give you any more PR bonds. I don't know what your status in this country is, but if you're in this country without permission and you go to jail and immigration finds you while you're in custody, they will put an immigration detainer on you and you will be stuck in custody until the case is over with and then shipped off to immigration. You are on notice now that I'm going to do everything in my power to protect my county. I don't care who, what, when, where, but if I find that you're a public danger, then I will put you in custody. Do you understand? You have a lawyer. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with counsel, and they will tell you when you have to come back to court. If they tell me that they are unable to reach you because you're not responding to phone calls, text messages, likewise, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. No more PR bonds for you, sir. So we'll just have him sign the bond conditions, and then he's free to go with you.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, ma'am. And so, for what it's worth, it is now a third-degree felony. So I don't know how it's still a Class A at this moment. So
Let me,
that is charged as an A versus a third degree.
correct, let me look into
So,
that.
yeah, okay. All right, sir. Do not leave, Roberto. If you can tell him, don't leave until he signs bond conditions, please. And then if you can follow those, please.
Yeah, just to clarify, no engaging in like behavior and.
No weapons, right? Yeah. And no going back to this particular house.
Yeah.
Threatening or abusive contact where, Mr. Sprague, you're charged with indecent exposure. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. You guys have worked out an agreement where they're offering you a 12-month deferred. This is a type of probation that if you successfully complete it, you do not end up with a conviction on your record. And I'm going to tell you that this is extremely important for you because this is a type of offense where a second conviction requires a 10-year registration requirement under Chapter 62, which is, you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
And I'm telling you, when you have to register under this chapter, it is a very, very difficult thing to maintain. As part of the agreement, you must do a TRAS, which is an evaluation to see what other conditions you may need. If they assess other conditions, you must fulfill them. You will do no drugs, no alcohol, 10 hours of community service, $100 donation to the Houston Area Women's Center, and no harassing, threatening, or abusive contact with. If you violate this agreement, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. I'm going to put you in jail. I'm going to bring you back out, and we are going to talk about whether you violated this agreement. If you did, you're looking at 180 days in jail. Do you understand?
Yes, Judge.
So you're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization under federal law. You give up the right to appeal. Once you enter into this agreement, you are stuck with us until you complete it, or unless you get revoked. The way that you behaved while you were on bond for this case is unacceptable. And if you think that you're going to do the same thing while you're on probation, just got to be careful. Do you understand?
Really quick, on bond, he was compliant. It was the only reason he missed court was because of my mistake.
But you need to know. I mean, it is your responsibility to also know, right? We rarely close, you know, we're always open like Costco, man, you know?
All right. Yes, Judge.
And that's why I'm not putting you into custody now. Otherwise, right, you would be staying with us. What do you do with yourself these days?
Contract work, but my boss is retiring. I'm actually looking for a steady income instead. So applying for everything. So
are you actually working now as what?
Yeah, just been helping with the fences. Most all those fences going down, just building fences.
It's a great occupation. I'll tell you what, fencing, you can make a ton of money. If you do a good job, you put your heart, soul into it, you do well, your name will spread like wildfire. And I'm telling you, building fences is just crazy expensive. I mean, who knew? Right. So you can, if you do well, you can make a lot of money, you know? So what kind of income do you have now?
At the moment, not too much because my boss is retiring. Just why I was looking for actual steady income, honestly. My boss was the one that was helping me out a bunch, but he's hitting 75 and he's kind of done with it, you know, so.
Okay, so you can reduce it to the minimum. Okay, so how do you plead to this offense, guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
I will not find you guilty. I'll withhold that for 12 months. If you do well, if you get everything done quick, I'll take you off in half the time as a reward. We want you to do well, and if you do well, get everything done, and you're nice to everybody, I'll take you off in half the time. All right? Okay, man. Good luck to you.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Cons. Okay. All right, man. You know, the thing that you need to understand is from now on, you won't be with me anymore. You will be in felony court. No matter how old you are, no matter where you go, no matter what you're doing, the only thing that officers look at, they look at you, they smell you, and they look at your record. And if they see anything funky, all you're going to end up doing is in felony court. And if you thought it was bad here, wait till you get to felony court. It doesn't get easier. It only gets worse. And over there, they have a lot more resources than I do, and they can keep you for a long time. So if I were you, even if you've had a sip, I wouldn't get into a car because you're taking a humongous risk, and it's not worth it. You understand?
I understand.
The agreement that you guys have worked out is 30 days in jail. You've worked out this agreement where, do your time, you get out. This is another proverbial slap on the wrist because it's not like you're doing that much time. But the problem is that you're young. I mean, what are you, 33 now, 35?
27.
27, and now you have 2 DWIs on your record. You're giving up the right to a trial, right to compel witnesses to testify on your behalf, confront and cross-examine your accusers. Shh. If you're not a citizen, there are possible immigration consequences. You can be deported, excluded from the country, denied naturalization. You give up the right to appeal. Once you accept this agreement, there's no going back. Is this what you want to do?
Yes.
You go to the office.
Guilty.
I'll find you guilty. He sends you to 30 days in jail. How much credit does he have? It's 4 days credit. So is he going to go in now?
Judge, I would request you allow him to turn himself in before 6.
Okay, I'm okay with
Would
it.
you do that? Okay.
But don't use and don't show up late, because if you show up at 6:01, 6:05, they're not going to take you, and we're going to have a whole other set of issues. So just remember, don't get into a car. It's not hard,
Yeah.
An Uber, $20, $30, anywhere you want to go, man. No matter how, start using that. All right. I'm going to suspend your license for a year. I have to suspend it. I'm going to do it for a year. Don't drive until you get a license. All right. And then we'll just have you turn in by 6 p.m.
Judge, so he'll turn himself in by 6. The second thing is, would you consider waiving the Supermax fine? I'm appointed on his case.
I get it, but I mean, it's, how do we,
Well, I think one of the options is if he's been appointed, he's been found indigent, so he should be found indigent for the purposes of that also.
I continue to reward Mr. Barahona when he's continued to violate one way or the other.
Well, it's not a reward, Judge. He's indigent. He's indigent. Judge, he qualifies. He's indigent.
Good for living. You work, you're a painter.
I'm a painter.
Yeah, how much money do you make a month?
It depends on the season, from November to February, it's usually very slow and it starts to pick up around springtime. And I'm an independent contractor, so it just depends how that year goes for me.
What do you think?
I think we'll just refer to the.
I'll tell you, Mr. Barahona, you're not going to see me anymore. You pick up any new cases, you're going to be up there. All right, I'll wait it. Okay.
Appreciate it.
All right, man. Good luck, Mr. Barahona.
I don't think the enhancement changes the deal though, Judge.
It might be just the priority to DWI. That's it, not to make it 90. Is it true that you had a prior DWI in 2019?
Yes.
Okay, true the enhancement. It's not going to make it 90.
Right, it's still.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, good luck, sir.